Hey everyone, it's Ed Kime, CEO over at Quantcha, and welcome to the January 3rd, 2016 News and Updates video. In this video, we're going to take a look at a site that we've just launched, which is docs.quantcha.com. This is an important investment that we're making for the future of the tools because it provides detailed platform and service documentation that will help you better understand some of the features and the nuances of how our tools work. At a minimum, we're going to go into depth as to the functionality of the tools themselves, and it provides us a lot more room to write in depth that we couldn't necessarily do in line with the documentation that we provide next to features and tooltips and things like that. It's important to note that we're going to be regularly updating the documentation and also extending it based on feedback we get and questions and other Q&A style things that come through all our various feedback channels, whether it's email, the user voice, comments in YouTube, or even in-person feedback that we get from users. So if you've got any questions about functionality or any questions about the finance, please ask, and very likely we can put that out there to extend it for everybody to benefit from. And also, we've integrated it with the tools where possible. This is designed to make it easier for you to find just-in-time documentation to help you understand a feature as you've come across it without having to wade through all of the docs to get there. So let's step over to the Quantcha site for a second, and here we are at the Microsoft landing page, and we're looking at the default view that you'd get with the next expiration selected, and each one of these yellow bars is the expiration for the options moving forward. But you can also add in a lot of metrics here. We can see things like the forward price, the volatilities, the put-call interest, put-call ratio, buy-open interest rather. And this is an important chart because depending on the nature of your investment, you might care about some combination of these things when you're deciding how far out you want to target your trades. So for someone approaching this for the first time, especially someone who might be new to option investing, this can be pretty overwhelming to look at. So what we've done is we've provided this little button here, this little help button, that if you click it next to the feature, it'll launch the documentation site, and you can now see in a greater deal of depth than we can put in line all of the information you might want to know about why a feature works the way it does and how you can benefit from it. So in the case of the expirations chart, we talk a bit about what it does and how it works. Then we talk about the historical and implied volatilities with links off to more detailed discussions of historical volatility or of implied volatility. We've got things like the forward prices covered here, as well as more detailed cover the financial topic of forward pricing and into the put-call ratios, as you can see. But beyond this, there's a lot of other functionality on this site that you can see or that's covered throughout the site. So for example, the model designer is another place we get a lot of questions. And the model designer is when you take a model for a stock, so you see this by default, and it's got the stock and it's got your range and budget and so on. And we go into explanation as to when you expand that out and you get the full view, what each one of these features is for and how they impact the trades that we find and how we filter and sort based on that where applicable. In addition, we've got this really sophisticated thing here, which is our visual options chain. And so if you're interested in that, you can drill in and get more detail on how that works and the explanation of what each one of these features is about and how you might take advantage of it. We've also got functionality explained a bit for our screeners, and we're getting into API and other stuff. But if you've got other questions, you can come out to the discussion forums page. And on the discussion forums page, you can create a new topic to talk about really anything related to our tools or options investing or stuff like that, and we'll get to it as quick as we can. In many cases, we'll be able to get to it and then link back to documentation or even update the documentation to cover those particular questions. But this is just a good place for you to stay up to date with what's going on and provide the feedback that you want to get us so that we can improve our tools for your use. So if you do have other feedback, please go ahead and hit us up at the usual channels or hello@quantcha.com, or you can leave us a comment down in the comment section below, or really any of the other channels we have. Thanks and happy trading.